Are you ready? Mga Verturismo? In 3, 2, 1.
City ang sinasakay ng mga ang DNR, Office of Enforcement, kaso sa tubig sa Metro Manila.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, and evening mga Verturismo. This is Group 5 and my members and I will be reporting on the many environmental impacts of tourism. But first, allow me to introduce myself and my colleagues. Hello, I am Katari Semblante and these are my members.
And mabuhay, I am Kendrick Itkuban.
I am Hannah Ramos.
I am Cecile Arnabasa.
My name is Aileen Cabanza.
And this is Chanli Jaime.
With our assigned concepts, we will explore on why these issues had a significant influence on our surroundings, whether positive or bad.
Hello, mga ka-Verturismo! I am Hannah Ramos, and do you guys know what is my topic all about? Oh, you don't have an idea! So, for you guys to have an idea, let me give you a quick activity. So, the activity is called 4 Picks 1 Word. Does it sound familiar, mga ka-Verturismo? So, let's move on to the activity. So guys, I am going to show you 4 pictures and you should guess it in 10 seconds. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Alright, you guessed it correctly guys. I am going to tackle about pollution. So what is pollution? Pollution is when harmful substance or contaminants get into the environment like air, water, or soil, causing damage to the nature and affecting the health of living things. It often comes from human activities and industries. Do you guys know what causes pollution? Pollution occurs when chemicals, smoke, or waste from human activities enter the air, water, or soil, harming the environment and living organisms. Industrial processes, transportation, and improper waste disposal are major contributors to pollution. Before we dig deeper into the negative and the positive impacts of pollution, let us know first the 2 common types of pollution, the air pollution and the water pollution. Air pollution is mainly caused by emissions from vehicles, industrial activities, burning of fossil fuels, agricultural activities, and wildfires. These activities release pollutants like nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, particulate matter, and volatile organic compounds into the atmosphere. While water pollution is caused by a variety of sources such as industrial discharge, agricultural runoff, untreated sewage, oil spills, and improper waste disposal. These pollutants enter water bodies like river, lakes, and ocean, contaminating the water and affecting aquatic life and human health. As I've said earlier, pollution is a harmful substance. So let us know the impacts of tourism on the environment regarding pollution can be seen from both positive and negative perspective. So positive impacts. I have listed 2 positive impacts of pollution. First is pollution increase awareness and the second one is pollution is investment in eco-friendly practices. In increased awareness, visible pollution often raises awareness among tourists, locals, and authorities, prompting action to address environmental issues. In investment in eco-friendly practices, tourism revenue can be channeled into implementing cleaner technologies and sustainable practices to mitigate pollution. And since we are done with the positive impacts of pollution, we will discuss what is the negative impacts of tourism on the environment regarding pollution. Air, Water and soil pollution is one of the negative impacts of pollution because it increases traffic, waste generation, and inadequate waste management in tourist areas contribute to pollution, harming ecosystem and public health. Another negative impact of pollution is the habitat degradation. Pollution from tourism activities can lead to the deterioration of natural habitats affecting wildlife and biodiversity. Reducing pollution involves adapting cleaner energy sources, such as renewables, enhancing public transportation, minimizing single-use plastics, promoting energy efficiency, planting trees, and implementing stricter regulations on emission from industries. Individual actions like conserving energy and water, recycling, and using eco-friendly products also contribute to reducing pollution.
Good day everyone, and to you Virturismo, I am Shinmei. I'll be discussing about the impacts of coral reefs on the environment, and we will examine both the positive and negative impacts of coral reefs, including the awareness and education it brings. By delving into these aspects, we aim to gain a better understanding of the challenges and potential solutions for a more sustainable approach to coral reefs in the tourism industry. So join me as I also explore the fascinating world of coral reefs and its implication in tourism. What is coral reefs? Coral reefs are underwater ecosystem built by coral polyps, which are tiny animals related to anemones and jellyfish. They are among the most diverse and productive ecosystem on Earth, providing habitat for over a quarter of all marine life. The positive impacts of coral reefs protect coastlines from storms and eruptions, provided jobs for local communities, and offer opportunities for recreations. The negative impacts of coral reefs are pollution, overfishing, destructive fishing practices using dynamites or cyanide, collecting live corals for the aquarium market, mining coral for building materials, and a warming climate are some of the many ways that people damage reefs all around the world every day. The importance of coral reefs provide food and livelihood nearly by 1 billion people, with many being from vulnerable communities. They act as barrier against the worst impact of storms, therefore protection the shoreline, infrastructure, and millions of people who live along coast. So, let's tackle about beach encroachment and crowding. Beach encroachment and crowding refers to the overuse of beach areas. Often due to the tourism, this can lead to a variety of impacts, both the positive and negative of the tourism environment. So there are some of positive impacts of beach encroachment and crowding. First, economic boost. More tourists means more money spent in local business like restaurants, shops, and hotels. This can lead to job creations and economic growth. Second, infrastructure development. The increase in tourism can lead to improvements and local facilities and services, like better roads for public transportations. So they also have a negative impacts, which is first, environment damage. Too many people can harm the beach environment, causing pollution and damaging the local plant and animal life. Second, overcrowding. Overcrowding, when a beach gets too crowded, it can become less enjoyable for visitors. It can also lead to conflicts between different groups of peoples.
Greetings, Katari, and hello to each and every one of you, Virturismo. My name is Aizin Kabansag, and let me briefly introduce my topic, which is the land degradation and habitat fragmentation. Tourism frequently overconsumes natural resources, especially in areas where resources are already limited. Tourism places significant strain on local land use, potentially resulting in soil erosion, increased pollution, natural habitat loss, and greater pressure on endangered species. So in this discussion, in the context of tourism, we will examine the issues of habitat fragmentation and land degradation, both the good and negative effects Turismo, so before we formally start our discussion, let us first play a game. This is only to check if you guys have any knowledge what we will be discussing for today. The game is just simple and there are two types of the games, which is the answer the question and multiple choice. Are you ready? Let us first do the answer the question game. This happens when parts of habitat are destroyed, leaving behind smaller unconnected areas. What's your guess? Correct! It's habitat fragmentation. Now in the second game, choose your answer. Which is not a cause of land degradation? Is it A. Afforestation, B. Deforestation, C. Excessive irrigation, or D. Overgrazing? Correct. Letter A is afforestation. Thank you for playing and let's now start our discussion. What are the positive and negative impact of tourism towards habitat fragmentation and land degradation? Let us first define habitat fragmentation. It is the process during which a large expanse of habitat is transformed into a number of smaller patches of smaller total area isolated from each other by a matrix of habitats unlike the original. In other words, when a habitat is divided into smaller disconnected sections, it becomes fragmented. Although volcanic eruptions or fires might be caused this naturally, but human activity is usually at blame. The building of a road is a basic example. Now, the positive impact of tourism on habitat fragmentation include growing infrastructure development, which will then create more job employment. It also creates awareness towards individuals which give us an education that will enhance the knowledge of people to produce something that will be good for preserving our habitat. Now the negative impacts can include habitat disruption or habitat loss, resulting to neglection of attractions and destructions of natural resources that damages tourism industry. If this problem will continue to arise, tourism industry will no longer be in good shape. Losing the beauty of attraction includes the land and water, especially the species that live there, minimizes the attractions. Other than that is pollution and disturbance to wildlife or increased pressure on endangered species, resulting to drastic changes of wildlife-based tourism and possible loss of zoo animals that could affect the tourism industry, and these will all lead to fragmented ecosystems and potential long-term consequences of biodiversity. Now, to continue, we will now have land degradation. What do you mean by land degradation? It is the deterioration or loss of the productive capacity of the soils for present and future. It is a global challenge that affects everyone through food insecurity, higher food prices, climate change, environmental hazards, and the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Now, what are the positive impacts of tourism on land degradation? First, these include environmental quality. Tourism can provide the incentive to develop land for commercial development. Abandoned mines are converted into tourism-oriented facilities such as a golf course. The second is infrastructure improvement, such as airports, seaports, expressways, and nautical highway systems. The third one is species regeneration infrastructure, built for travel and tourism, could actually be designed to enhance or create habitats for animals. However, negative impacts may involve deforestation caused by fuel, wood collection, and land clearing, soil erosion, and infrastructure development, contributing to land degradation and loss of biodiversity. Sustainable practices are crucial to mitigate these effects. Finally, to end this topic of mine, I will give some insights on what specific actions must be implemented to minimize habitat fragmentation and land degradation. Now, in order to do it, sustainable tourism practices must be implemented. Includes designing tourism facilities to minimize the impact on natural habitats and promoting the use of eco-friendly building materials. on waste reduction, and minimizing carbon emissions. There are issues that must be addressed, and we all can do things to create a big change to things what we broke once. Also, there are a lot of ways we could do to minimize the damage and bring what was before. And this can happen if we all will be cooperating. That's all for my part, Virturismo. I hope you learned something.
Hello mga Virturismo, this is Katari Semblante and I'll be reporting on one of our environment's major aspects. But first, I'd like you to play a game and figure out the answer to this question. This game is called 4 Pics, 1 Word. Based on the pictures seen on the screen, what do you think is the answer to our question? I'll give you 5 seconds to think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's right. The answer is water scarcity or water depletion. So what exactly is water scarcity or water depletion? So water depletion refers to shortage of water, which means that there is a scarcity of water. So water scarcity is defined as the lack of sufficient and accessible freshwater resources to fulfill the society's water demand. Water shortage affects every continent. River basins shared by more than one country cover over half of the world's geographical surface. However, the situation is more severe in Asia, the world's most water-stressed region. Our globe, or rather the Earth, is made out of bodies of water, which covers around 71% of the Earth's surface. The ocean contains 97% of the world's water. With this knowledge, we can see that water is incredibly vital to us in a variety of ways. Many people can drink, wash, clean items, and establish businesses with water. And here is when our tourism begins. Our incredible beaches such as Palawan, Boracay, and Siargao account for a large portion of our tourism here in the Philippines. With these beaches, we attract a lot of visitors throughout the years and a lot has changed, especially to our environment and water. The tourist sector may be beneficial to us, but one negative is that it does not maintain the purity and conservation of our waterways. We all know that the Philippines experiences El Nino. So what is El Nino? El Nino refers to above average sea surface temperatures. Effects of El Nino is severe drought and associated with food insecurity, flooding, rain, and temperature rises. This is why our nation, the Philippines, is quite thorough when it comes to water conservation. You may see signs out in public, particularly in mall bathrooms, facilities, to teach a large number of people, particularly our tourists, about water consumption. Because we can utilize this to protect our ecosystem from future issues. We may not be able to fix water depletion, but we can strive to avoid it.
Hello and mabuhay! I am Kendrick Itkuban and I am your enthusiastic guide. I am absolutely thrilled to be with your companion in this incredible event. I'll be reporting about animal species extension, which is our environment's major concern. So fasten your seatbelts, strap in your virtual goggles, and let this video journey into the realm of animal species extension capture your hearts and minds. So what is species extension? Species extension is the complete disappearance of a species from Earth. Species extension in the Philippines is a significant concern as our country is known for its rich biodiversity. The Philippines is one of the world's biodiversity hotspots, hosting a diverse range of plant and animal species, many of which are found nowhere else in the world. However, several factors contribute to the alarming rates of species extinction in our country. Habitat destruction is a major driver of species extinction in the Philippines. Rapid urbanization, industrialization, and agricultural expansion lead to destruction and fragmentation of natural habitats, displacing and isolating species population. Deforestation, especially due to logging land conversion, is particularly severe issue, threatening species that depend on forest habitats. The Philippines is home to many unique and diverse animal species, but unfortunately, it is also facing the challenge of animal species extinction. Several factors contribute to this issue, including habitat loss, illegal hunting and trade, pollution, climate change, and invasive species. Here are some examples of animal species that are critically endangered, already extinct in the Philippines. First is the Philippine tamarao. The tamarao is a small buffalo species endemic to the island of Mindoro. With less than 600 individuals left in the wild, it is considered as the most endangered mammals in the world. Second is the Philippine eagle, also known as a monkey-eating eagle. This bird is the national bird of the Philippines. With its large size and unique appearance, it has become an iconic symbol of Philippine wildlife. However, due to habitat loss and hunting, only around 400 pairs are estimated to exist in the wild. So the positive impact of animal species extinction is the ecosystem balance. Some animal species, particularly predators, play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. The extinction of a certain predatory species can lead to an overpopulation of prey species, disrupting its natural balance. Then the negative impact of animal species extinction is a loss of biodiversity. Every animal species has a unique role in the ecosystem. When a species goes extinct, it disrupts its delicate web of interaction, leading to a loss of biodiversity by reducing the resilience of the ecosystem to the future changes.
Good day, everyone. I am Sensei Arnapasa, and I am thrilled to be here to discuss a topic that's close to my heart and crucial for our planet: the waste depletion. Before we dive into the details, let's start with a brief activity to get us thinking about our own waste habits. I would like everyone to take a moment and think about the waste you have produced today. Maybe it was a coffee cup, a plastic bag, or food scraps from lunch. Now, imagine if you had to carry that waste around with you all day, every day. How would it feel? How quickly do you think it would accumulate? This exercise isn't meant to make anyone feel guilty, but rather to help us realize how much waste we produce without even thinking about it. It's the first step towards understanding why waste depletion is important. Now, let's delve into the topic and explore how we can all contribute to waste depletion and make a positive impact on our environment. Okay, so everyone, for you, what is waste depletion? So waste depletion refers to the process of reducing the amount of waste that we produce, often through methods like recycling, composting, and reducing consumption. It's a crucial part of environmental conservation efforts. Awareness and education. Tourism often leads to increased awareness about the importance of environmental conservation. Tourists learn about the effects of their actions on the environment and can be encouraged to practice waste reduction and recycling during their travels. Second, sustainable practices. Many tourism businesses are adopting sustainable practices, including waste reduction and recycling. In response to increasing demand from eco-conscious tourists, this can lead to significant reductions in waste. However, there can be some negative impacts as well. First is the environmental damage. Improper waste disposal can lead to environmental damage, including pollution of land and water bodies. This can harm local ecosystems and wildlife. Second is using up resources. Making things for tourists to use can use up a lot of resources. This includes things that are thrown away after being used once, which adds to the waste problem. That's all for my discussion. I hope you learned something new. Thank you and keep safe.
Climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term changes in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's climate. These changes can occur over extended periods ranging from decades to millions of years. However, in the contemporary discussions, climate change often refers to the significant and rapid changes observed in the Earth's climate system for the past centuries, primarily due to human activities. Addressing climate change involves efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition. Climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term changes in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's climate. These changes can occur over extended periods ranging from decades to millions of years. However, in the contemporary discussions, climate change often refers to the significant and rapid changes observed in the Earth's climate system for the past centuries, primarily due to human activities. Addressing climate change involves effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to sustainable. Before we begin with our discussion, let me give you an insight of how the climate change affects not just the tourism industry, but the whole world. Climate change has profound and multifaceted impacts on the tourism industry, affecting destinations, infrastructure, and the overall travel experience. Some key aspects includes changing of weather pattern. Climate change might have some beneficial effects on the industry, at least in the short to medium term. There are chances that the new geographic areas will draw more tourists. As temperature rises, tourists are expected to go more to Alaska skiing and North Europe. There could be fewer unspoiled natural places open for tourism, a shorter season with more product supplied, and higher prices as a result of increased operating costs. Climate change, according to the UN, refers to a long-term shifts in the temperature. Again, this is Charlie Jaime, reporting on the impacts of climate change in the tourism industry. Thank you for listening and mabuhay.
All I've learned